Hey friends, Spava Brooks here. If you're stopping by and watching this replay, thank you so much for checking it out. Like I said, my name is Spava Brooks. I am a trauma recovery coach, and you will find me here on YouTube twice a week, usually hanging out with my fellow survivor thrivers as we talk about the healing journey. It's tough enough to go through, so it's easier to do when we have support. So in our live streams here that you are watching, you will hear us check in, make sure we're okay, come as you are. Always start with recognizing the feelings where we are right here and right now, and a little bit of chit chat, and then we go and dig in deep. We are going through the book, Releasing Your Authentic Self, one day, one page at a time. If you're curious to learn more, please visit my website, spavabrooks.com, and I also do include some links below this video. But if you're here, right now, please say hello. Let me know that you're here so I can welcome you. So good to be here with you guys. Hey, EJ, much better day than Tuesday. Glad to make it. Good to see you, friend. We'll take those good days. We'll take those good days. Hey, Lady Leo, how are you, friend? How are you guys? I just realized I still had my my sweater on. I'm starting to put the layers on. The temperature is going down here on the West Coast. Let's see. Let me give you the update. What's the temperature? Nope. Not in Iceland. I got the Iceland temperature up. So Portland, 54. So yeah. And even found the cats that usually don't snuggle together very much. This morning, they were huddled together. It's getting cold. So hey, Sue. How are you doing, friend? Good to see you. So I'm here with my sweaters on, my wool socks, and hot tea, and the heater going. 48 and drizzle and haze. Feels like 45. Yeah, right? It's what do they say? This is the temperature, and then there's the wind. Yeah, I managed to get out of the house earlier, went and ran some errands, so that was good. Got a little bit of sunshine on my face. Doing well. We got to 86 today. Well, that's nice. That's perfect weather. Going to be 40 tonight, but 50 plus during the day. Oof. Windy and wet, pouring all day, so no walk and no sunshine. I'm sorry. So how are we doing? If we start, how are we feeling? Our bodies, our minds, our hearts, our spirits. Sunny today, so we did some gardening. Ooh, I'm jealous. Jealous. I actually got a pot that someone was getting rid of. And my goal was to put a plant in it. And with all the rain lately out on my balcony, that plant would have drowned. So that thing is just full of water. So I'm glad I didn't drown a plant out there, but I do miss gardening. Lady Leo. Hey, Elizabeth. Good to see you. Toddler is wearing you out, Lady Leo. I can't believe that. You have about the same amount of energy as a toddler. They wear you out. I hear you. Better for tidying the garden, though rather stiff. Yeah, I hear you. But it's good to move, right? It's good to move these bodies. Yeah. Lady Leo, you're funny. You wear each other out. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I told you guys on Tuesday, right, that with my siblings and some of the grandkids, we recorded a happy birthday song for my mom. It was her birthday yesterday. Thank you guys who also posted on Facebook and wished my mom a happy birthday. I love that about you guys. So anyways, I created a short unlisted YouTube for her to keep. And I was thinking maybe I'll share it with you guys because I think you'll laugh to see. It was hilarious. We could not sing in sync, even if our life depended on it. And as we know, the choir expert here in the room, you can't do that. You can't sync, assume. We tried, and my mom appreciated the effort. So I will post the link in our small group. So you guys can get a good laugh. Right, Sue? That's what I didn't tell them until afterwards. I recorded the whole thing even when we were trying to coordinate just because I knew we would get a laugh. And then when they were like, okay, we're ready to record. And I said, I've been recording the whole thing. But it was fun and it made my mom laugh. And I know she says she's been watching it over and over again because it's hilarious. So I'm keeping an eye on Kevin. He's chasing his toy around. So who knows what he'll do. So everybody doing okay? Lady Leo's been worn out. Sue is a little sore. How is Elizabeth doing today? EJ's feeling okay, but better than Tuesday. So we'll take your right? Take that. Take that. I've been kind of productive over the last few days. I was actually, I don't know if Liz here, I was encouraging her to join us. I sent her a picture of one of the painting that I've been waking up at 5:30. And so I've been painting when I wake up super early. And so 2 things that I've worked on, I'm hoping not to tip this over. So it's work in progress. So this is what I was doing this morning. I started this last night. I love textures. So I'm sharing with you what brings me joy these days. So when I wake up at 5:30, I'm like, yay, I get to paint. I have time to go paint. So, and I love that Liz, I sent it to her and it looked like this. So I told her, no, it's sideways. And she's like, that's a good sign. When a picture looks good any which way that you turn it. And then I also was doodling again last night. So actually did some candle wax on here and then played with some paint over it. So I'm doing a lot of mindfulness with painting lately. Brings me joy. Can you see? I light up. Makes me so happy. So that's how I'm staying out of trouble. Playing with paint and color. Thank you, Sue. Elizabeth says feeling tired, but also productive. Bittersweet feeling. I was just about to ask you, EJ, I know you said you got some paint. So share. Not feeling any better than Tuesday. The day just went better than Tuesday. Okay, got it. I hear you. I hear you, my friend. Well, I am super glad that you're here with us. And I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but I'm going to ask all of us to drop into our hearts. and send EJ some love. Drop into our hearts. Feel our loving kindness for EJ. And as we can imagine you out there, we see you, and in our mind's eye, we are sending you love. May you find peace, right? May you have a better day. May you feel loved and appreciated and cared for. I don't know about you guys, but my heart started singing. This is where our hearts are generators. They generate energy for us. That's Kevin running through. They generate energy and love for us, but they also generate, I know. I'm so glad you're feeling it, EJ. So when you ever doubt that we are connected, like I told you guys on a number of times, all you gotta do is to drop into your heart. And that's where you will find me anytime you need it. So thank you, EJ, for letting us send you love today, because it's good for this body and this heart to get to extend love and kindness to other humans. It's good for our bodies. It's good for our nervous systems, as well as it brings a blessing and support to others. I bet you're feeling this energy, EJ. There's lots of energy coming your way. All good, all love. And I just want to put it out there. Anytime we are here, my friends, and you feel like you could use some energy like this for us to unify our energy and drop into our hearts and send it on to you, you can ask for it. I strongly encourage you to ask for it, to practice asking for what you need. I can still remember, it was quite a while back, I went to this one retreat, and through the whole retreat, the woman leading it, she kept saying, and this is a place where you get to ask for what you need. So no matter what a crazy idea, of course, within some limits, but if it had to do with, in the context of what we were working on, or something that you felt like would support you, you could ask for it. And a couple of things that I asked for in that retreat, and I couldn't believe it. Like, she put everything on hold, and it was like, okay, we have a request from Svava. I'm gonna, we are gonna just pause our agenda for now, and we are gonna bring this and as a community do this to help Svava. And I was like a little uncomfortable almost receiving it, because it was a room full of people, but it was so sweet, and it felt so good to have my request be acknowledged. And, she's like, well, we can do this for you, then why shouldn't we? So it's a good practice. We're here for you, friends. So if we can do it, please ask. So Lady Leo says, I decided today I would get back into reading since I'm not on social media regularly during the day. I have so many hardback and Kindle books. I read so much as a teen. Good for you, Lady Leo. Good for you, my friend. Excellent. So glad to hear it. Our time much better spent. And Elizabeth says she's also reading more lately. That's great. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, let's see here. Page of the day. Are we ready? No? Do you speak the language of success to yourself and to others? It's vital to use success or positive vocabulary. Words are containers of power. Change your words and you change your success rate in life. So the two questions today were, right? Number one, what are 5 negative words you say to yourself and perhaps others every day, almost every day? And I would love to hear from you, even if you didn't share with us in the group, if you think of something. Just this, if there's a reoccurring thing that you know tends to show up and maybe even tends to show up when things get hard. It's just so unfair how hard we as humans can be on ourselves, especially when we're down, when we're struggling. It's really not fair that we are so hard on ourselves. So if you can come up with 5 words, even if just a couple. So how can you take these, gotta clear up my context. How can you take these 5 negative words and change them into positive success words? And for some of us, right, it can be tricky, right? It can be very tricky for us to do that. But my invitation around this would be, what is something that you long to hear? Or what is it that you would like to be acknowledged for? And often it's related to the negative words. But let's think about that for a little bit. And I was looking a little bit online before our call, and I pulled up a couple of articles. So coming back here, not for today's page, no way, okay. Not that I could do more than I do. Okay, thank you, Lady Leo. That I could do more than I do. Okay. So how can we turn that around, Elizabeth? How can we turn around your inner dialogue that you aren't doing enough, right? Yes, EJ, it is. It is possible that the negative is so ingrained that we don't even realize we are doing it. Yep, exactly. Exactly. And EJ, if you remember Rebecca Bourne, who was part of the One Health community, that was one of her big teaching points, and one of my biggest takeaway from her was that it's It's how, right, the impact of what happened to us, right? Our negative thoughts and feelings about ourselves, right? It's like healing from the abuse, yes, but it's turning around how we've survived, how we have coped, right? Taking the coping strategy that was positive and is now negative, it is for us to dig deep into how, right, attached we have become to the stories that we've told ourselves, to the point that we believe them as their truth. And it has become part of our identity. We literally think that this is who we are now. And so, yes, sometimes when something is like part of you, it's very hard to see it, right? It's very hard to put our finger on it. So it takes, yeah, exactly. So then it takes some intention. We have to be intentional about it, about being willing. And the thing is, it is, you know, we may not always catch the thought, right? But I'm going to bring it back to the body, because the body doesn't lie. But if we fall to the body and feel the weight of the words, because often it's not even so much about the words that we're saying, but it's how we're saying them, the tone that we're using as we are attacking ourselves and being judgmental and critical of ourselves. That's the crushing part. And so when we trace it back to our bodies, it's like, no wonder I feel like, for me, like I felt like a piece of shit, because I thought I was stupid. I thought I was broken. I thought no one cared. I'm only, you know, here to please other people and take care of people and to make other people happy. No one really cares about what I think or what I want, right? And behind that was a crippling, yeah, you're right, no one cares. Yeah, you're right. No, you are bad. No, you're awful. No, you're a really bad person. No, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I didn't even hear it. I just felt the crushing weight of it. And then, okay, time out. Why do I feel so crappy about myself? Why? And then when I would catch it, I feel like I've done something wrong. I've done something bad. I feel like I'm going to be in trouble. Am I in trouble? Is someone going to, like, have I messed something up? So I would be doing a lot of reality checks. Yes. Yes, Elizabeth. And then I'd be like, okay, then the reason why I feel like I'm in trouble, it's not because of what's happening really here. It's from then. And because something happened then, I made up a story about myself that I'm bad. I'm not bad. I'm actually a good person. And then we get to place those words. What am I choosing? And so once I had an inclination of what that word was, right? Like for me, it was stupid. I was stupid. I was told I was stupid. I was made fun of. I can still feel the tears behind my eyeballs when I think of myself as a little girl. How horribly mean my stepfather was to me. Publicly humiliated me whenever he could. So for me to make a mistake or to cause people to laugh at me, it was like, I'm gonna die. So now I have had to sit with that little girl, and when that thought comes up, I catch it. Now, nope, not for a minute. Not for a minute am I believing that now, because I've chased the story back and I know the truth. So Thank you, Leo. I will look up. No worries, EJ, no worries. Elizabeth, if my inner critic repeat the words of a parent, were they projecting onto us? Yes, our inner critics will very often repeat the words that our parents said to us, our caregivers, right? So, and let me just go up here a little bit further again. Elizabeth said, you commented, I acknowledge that I'm doing my best. Yes, I hear you. And I totally get it. It feels false some days, right? Yeah, it feels false in the beginning. I totally get it. Can you guys relate? Right? When someone says something nice about you or is complimenting you, or right, then it's just like, no, you really don't know me, right? It's like, no, if you knew the truth about, you wouldn't say that about me. You wouldn't think that I'm a nice person. So yeah, exactly. So we like, and this is the work of turning it around, right? To choose it, and you choose to believe it. And then you start, instead of looking for the evidence why the false, the negative was true, we were very good at that. I was very good at look for evidence for why I was bad. Well, for one, I was being told. And then as I grew up, I realized I had done bad things, right? Because I felt like it was my fault. I was responsible for those bad things. So I was bad. Of course I felt bad. I believed it. And so every time that thing started to come up, feeling bad, I had to choose. And there you go, Sue. And that's the thing. You get to decide. Sometimes I feel like I'm making excuses when I say I'm doing the best I can. And that's the thing. You're the only one who gets to hold you accountable, right? So yes, either we use it, right, to make it okay, right? Or use it as an excuse, or you say it because you know you are. Because you know you are. And you tell yourself that with warmth and kindness. So again, it's accountability between you and you. Right? The choices. I hear you, Lady Leo. It took friends to tell me I wasn't mean, evil, bad person. My family would tell me that all the time. Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. For some of us, it wasn't, maybe, I was definitely told I was stupid. But it's also in when we aren't told the things that we need to hear. So in the absence of hearing the validation and acknowledgement, the nurturing, the support and empowerment, or like someone believes in us, without that, as kids, we fill in the blanks. We fill in the blanks. And just like how we learn to take care of ourselves, we often mirror and we'll start talking to ourselves the way we see other people talk to themselves or take care of themselves or talk to other people. But very often our inner dialogue is the critical voice of our parent. So absolutely. And I've told you guys, my story. around kindness when I really wanted to believe that I was kind, because in my heart of hearts, for being bad all my life, like, no, I am a kind person. So I invested in it. Like, right? I put on my shield of power. Who am I? I am kind. I owned it. And now it's part of my signature. And it's not just some random word. It's there because I chose it. It represents me. So I'm looking at my notes here. I overcame the annoying and the selfish tag, but it's not easy with the lazy. I hear you. Then, Elizabeth, maybe for you to like write out what are the qualities of someone that's lazy, right? And do you confuse lazy with rest? So many of us we struggle with the like self-care and resting, even when we're sick, with being lazy. So it's like we need to kind of sort out how these words ping back and forth in our heads and then with our feelings. Yeah, Elizabeth, right? I had the feeling. A friend of mine heard me say I was just mean. She was like, no, who mean? You not mean, you stern, but you're a kind person. I told her how wrong she was. Took years for me to see that I wasn't those things. I hear you. I hear you, Lady Leo. Absolutely. So here's the thing, right? I've said this before, and this is where my Rebecca Bourne, who I was just referring to with EJ, again, if we aren't choosing our mindset, our thoughts, or setting our intention for who am I? How am I showing up? Then our minds will do the choosing for us. And usually that will be some version of the past. So today, I am, and how do I know I am? And I said, look for the evidence of how I am. Like kind, I am a very kind person. It is now inherently who I am. It always was, but I just didn't know it. But now I do, because I treat every human being as my equal and treat people with respect. And I expect the best from all beings. That's my starting point, and then I'll see what shows up. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to the Facebook. I'll refresh. Been on a little bit of a rant here today. Okay. Sue P shared with us 5 negative words I say to myself: disconnected, disorganized, forgetful, untidy, and selfish. I hear you, my friend. She goes on to say, I can probably try to be kinder, a bit kinder to myself about these words, but I'm finding it hard to turn them into positive success words. So my question to you, Sue, these words are just like, I feel disconnected in the moment right now. Right? You can feel disconnected in the moment or right now, but none of these are inherently who you are, right? We can all have a disorganized moment. Most of us are feeling very forgetful right now. So I'm just telling you this. You don't have to feel bad about any of these. I understand. Feeling untidy. Selfish, right? Is it our self-care? So I would love for you to recognize, like, where did these come from? What do these words mean to you? And they're great. I want to celebrate you for coming up with words, right? And then it's like, well, are they true? Or is this just behavior or like a momentary thing? Or have you decided that this is who you are always? Thoughts, Sue? Anybody else want to give Sue some feedback? Can you guys relate? It's like, I'll give you a moment to comment here on that, Sue. Right? How would we turn that around? I'm feeling a little disconnected today. I wonder what I need to do to feel connected again or grounded. I'm feeling disorganized today in this moment. What do I need to organize in this moment to help me feel like I can get on with my day? Those are just some suggestions. So I'm moving on to Rob shared with us. And EJ, can I share yours? Rob said, Rasta talk was my first intro into this type of thing. Politics became politricks. Oppression is changed to what it really is, down-pression. But my fave was understand, which transformed into overstand. Beautiful, reimagined lingo. Negative words I use, can't, couldn't. Always limiting my outlook and myself with inner editor. I am great at speaking that blue sky talk that puts a positive upliftment on things to other people though. I hear you. Who else catches themselves saying I can't or couldn't? You are not alone, my friend. Right? So my favorite turnaround with can't is that I can't do it yet. Right? I'm working on it. I can't do it yet. This is not the end. I can't do it now, but I'm gonna do it. Right? I couldn't do it then because I'm sure there was a good reason and you've learned from it. I'm going quickly through here. Let me see here. I'm gonna turn back to our YouTube. I guess some is in the moment, but some feels more ongoing. Yes. Lady Leo, it's like making my bed as soon as I get out of it, or I'm lazy, according to my mom. But now I saw I don't have to make it. Yeah, and it's okay. It's whatever you choose to make it mean, right? Yeah. You get to decide what that means. So which one, Sue, is one that you feel is an ongoing? So Lady Leo shared here with us. Her 5 negative words I use daily are can't, yep, crazy, bored, burden, and failure. Burden was a huge one for me as well. All describing how my inner critic whispers very convincingly. As far as changing them into positive success words, it is something I can work on. But at this time, I am not sure. Yep, I hear you, Lady Leo. And for all of these words, I would love to start with, where does it come from? Is it the truth? Who used to tell you those things? Is it possibly the voice that's linked to what's going on in your mind's eye? Right? Because you're not crazy. We can all feel a little bored sometimes. And actually, I believe boredom is a low-level anxiety. Because I'm never bored. No, there's no judgment in that, because I hear that a lot from a lot of people, and I understand it. It's like you don't know what to do with yourself, right? You don't know what to do with your time. Burden. Yep, I can recognize that one. I had to work hard on that one. And so, right, you dig into that and see, where does it come from? Is it even true? And a failure. It's like, where does that come from? Is it even true? By whose standards? Who are you comparing yourself to? Right? And so much of how we judge ourselves, right, comes from our culture. Our ego, right, has fun with this, because the ego makes up a story of who we are. And the ego gets the story from who? Those people, that media, right? Those magazines, those communities. Like, the ego wants you to fit in. It wants you to get in line, do as expected. So, and our ego, right, comes from our family, culture, sometimes religion. And then as we are entering, pulling back my authentic self, we get to decide. I'm not taking those beliefs with me. I'm choosing this one, this one, this one, and the rest can go. Not always easy, but I'd say you're doing a beautiful job. Beautiful job. You weren't allowed to say you were bored. That's funny. I can't understand how an absent mother can have such a devastating effect in my life. Sweet, sweet Elizabeth. I hear you. I hear you, Elizabeth. I just want to comment on that because I had a mother that was present in my life, and you guys all have seen I have a pretty good relationship with my mom today. We've come a long ways together, but I grew up with a mother that was not present. She was a trauma survivor and checked out most of the time. And what that does to a child is that you as a child, you are constantly pinging your caregivers. And if the caregivers aren't there, either physically or mentally and emotionally, we as children, we turn inwards. And how to survive, right? We make up sometimes fairy tale stories about our parents, caregivers, to survive, that they are the most amazing people, right? We have incredible parents, could No, my childhood was fine. I had a fine childhood until I started healing, my healing journey. So, but I was devastated, Elizabeth, because inside of me was a little girl who then made it mean that because she wasn't given the attention and the affection and the nurturing and the support that she needed, that she deserved, she made it mean something wrong about her. And so that the underlying belief for so many of us is that there's something wrong with us. We didn't get our needs met equals something wrong with us. Because as kids, we don't understand. Yes, Sue. Yes. And this is, right, when we do inner child work, right? It's like we got to do inner child work like our life depends on it, right? We have to be really engaged with this little girl that lives inside of you. Like, yes, I hear you. I see you. I feel you. I'm here for you. Right? Because she's in there and doesn't believe you to start with, right? But when you, and again, self-compassion combined with I'm taking care of this body, but because you, sweet girl, you live in here. I'm exercising or going for walks in nature because you live in here and I love you because it makes you happy to be in nature. But because, I know it makes you happy and it's good for this body because you live here. What? You, right, our childhood was fine. Remember what it stands for? Lady Leo. I hear you, Elizabeth. I hear you, sweet lady. So if you're feeling sad, it's your inner child who's feeling sad. It's your little girl in there who is sad. Of course she's sad. Of course she's sad. So how you can support her through her sadness is like, I hear you, I feel you, I see you, baby girl, I believe you. Of course you're sad. I'm sad for you. Right? I'm here now. You deserve to have a parent that was present for you, that saw you, that heard you, that their face lit up, right? When you walked in the room. When they were excited about you sharing and talking and being with them. Yes, thank you, Lady Leo. I know you're not alone, Elizabeth. Every single person in this room has that sadness. We all do. And I'm so glad you're sharing this with us. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you, Sue. So this is it, my friends. This is it. Because we live in a body that is hardwired to keep you safe, that is hardwired to conserve energy, that is hardwired to not letting you feel the pain, that is there to minimize that exposure, right? So when we want things to change, like I said, there were days where I'm like, I'm choosing this because it's important. I'm choosing this not because I'm freaking want to do this forever, but I'm choosing it now because I want this. I wanted my inner child to know she was loved. Hell or high water. I wasn't going to stop until I had her attention and then I could look her in the eye inside of me. And it's like, sweet girl, I got you. You're the most amazing person in my life. You are the most important relationship in my life. You are and will always be my top priority. I look at her every single day. I got you. I see you. And because our bodies, our bodies are run by chemicals, right? There's a chemical stuff that runs our nervous system. So when we want to change this, it is like pushing that boulder up a hill, and it's going to roll over you any minute. But we got to want this. We got to want this. And you can. And you do it with you start with the self-care. I'm doing this. You connect the pieces. I'm taking care of this body because inside of me lives a little Svava that was neglected. I don't want her to feel neglected and abandoned ever again. So I take care of this body. I make sure I'm eating. I make sure I'm sleeping. I go out. She loves being outdoors. She gets pouty if we don't go out almost every day. So I'm like, hey, sweet girl, I'm doing this because you want me to. This is for you and this is good for us. So I'm literally talking to my body and I'm talking to myself, my inner child. So our self-care, right? Then we start to turn around. No, I'm not lazy. Some days I'm tired and I'm resting. No, I'm not selfish. I'm responsible for how I feel, my happiness and well-being, no one else. So selfish? No, but I'm responsible for taking care of me first, and then I can take care of you. My job, not selfish, because if I don't take care of me, no one else can. Then it's too late. Then right? Then I'm putting whatever help I need onto other people. So my self-care. What other struggles do we have? About being a burden. No, you were not a burden. You thought you were a burden because no one met you and gave you what was your birthright. So you made up a story that you were a burden and that you couldn't ask for what you need because maybe you were told no when you were little. But you can ask you now. You can ask your little girl, hey, sweet girl, what do you need? Hey, sweet girl, what do you need? You want to watch whatever on Netflix? Okay, we can watch one episode, not all 12. I know it sounds a lot of fun. It's a great show. But I'm the adult. I have adult work to do and take care of. So we watch one and get to bed on time so we can do our adulting in the morning because we have to take care of this body and we need time to do it. You guys, are you following me? So I hear you, EJ. I know, guys, I'm being a little dramatic today. But are you with me? Are you with me? This is important. And we think we're just thinking about positive affirmations. It's way bigger than that. And don't think for a minute that I still haven't something that creeps up in my mind every now and then. And then I have to go like, what? No. No. No, I'm not buying into this. And like I've been sharing with you guys, I'm like so excited about all the art that I'm making, because I told myself that I wasn't an artist, that I didn't know how to paint or draw or do any of it. That stuff is not fun. That stuff's boring. It's no fun. I've done a few things this year I thought I would never do or couldn't do. Now I'm like, okay, what else? I'm intrigued now. What else have I told myself that I couldn't do? Let's go try that out. Let's see if we can do it. I hear you, Lady Leo, but that's exactly it. You believed it back then, but you don't have to believe it now. Right? I don't like your adult with all those Netflix rules. I know you, EJ. I know you. So let's see. I think EJ shared with us, excuse me. She says, thanks to the live stream tonight, I was able to come up with the following. I'm too broken or sick to be better. Is that be better? I am all bad. There's nothing good in me. I'll never amount to anything. I'm in a season of brokenness and sickness. It's not forever. I've made many bad choices, but they don't make me bad. Yes. Yes, we are not bad when we make choices, because life is all about choices. How will we know they're right unless we try some of them? We learn from them. No matter how bad I may feel about myself, there is lots of good inside, regardless of how I feel. Yes. No matter the expectations I've had for my life, I'm surviving the hand I've been dealt. Yes, you are. And you are a miracle, my friend. You are. You are, you are, you are. Got it. So thank you, EJ. That was awesome. That was fantastic. Right? So focus on the things that we can change, my friends. What can we change? We can't change all the thoughts. The crazies come and goes, but we can catch the ones that we believe. We catch the ones that we like, ugh, it hurts. Yes, exactly. And change those words. Like, no, I'm not, no, 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 no. I sometimes swat around my head like I'm swatting a fly. No, nope, 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 nope. We can change our perspective. Yes, exactly, EJ. And I'm in this art group online. And what's come up frequently is that we are sharing, sometimes when the paint is wet or like we're so close to it, we don't like see the full picture. So it's not until we like put it away and let it dry and go away from it and then come back to it, it's like, it's not half bad. It's like when we're so close to it, we don't always see it. And that's, again, we're writing it out. And if we don't hear the thoughts, it's like, why do I feel so crappy? Why do I feel so low? What are the thoughts that are going on? And that's exactly it, Sue. Expectations. Whose expectations? And expectations are huge pressure. it takes us out of our moment. Whether things are going good or bad, we put, right? Things are good. Oh no, they're only gonna get worse. So there's pressure. Or things are bad and we're hoping they'll get better. That's pressure. We're constantly putting ourselves in a pressure cooker. And then we wonder why we're exhausted. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, EJ. So we're going over time tonight. If you can stay for it, it's okay. I'm going to read this out and you guys can come back and watch it later. But I'm giving you some ways to question your beliefs. So, and I'm happy to post this in the group. Up until right now, you have believed blank, haven't you? I need a light. How would it feel to never be held back by that negative belief again? Journal about that. How would it feel to never be held back by that belief again? Go into details. 3, what's the opposite of the negative belief that you used to have? What's the opposite? Like, I was like, I'm not an artist. I'm like, I'm an artist. I'm an artist. I love doing art. So what's the opposite? 4, how many days in a row would you have to feel the opposite for you to know that that's what you now believe? Got it. Okay, Jay. So think about a number of days. How many days in a row would you have to feel, right? For me, an artist, like an artist, for you to know that that is now what you believe. How many days? It's a little mind game. 5, put yourself out that many days into the future so that you now feel and know that you, the new belief, I'm an artist. How does it feel? Go into the details. Oh my God, I could sit and talk to you guys for an hour about how much fun I'm having with art. Next here, from this vantage point of now holding this new belief and feeling, look back at the former version of yourself and tell me, what do you think of him or her? Last step, bringing you back to the present, knowing that you now believe, insert the new belief. How does the future look? How does the future look and feel? So I'll post this in our group. So last thing, always perfect, EJ, always perfect. One day she woke up and decided to color outside the lines. That's what we're doing here. Right? This is it. We're coloring outside the lines. What's in the box? Yes, exactly, EJ. What's inside the lines is our old beliefs. Outside the lines, Who is your authentic self? You gotta want it. We got to want it. We can want it one belief at a time, one breath at a time. I'm choosing me. I'm choosing this because I'm doing this because I'm doing this because this body matters. My heart matters. My feelings matter. My inner child matters. All right, guys. Whew. I need a shower. Cool down. Relax, Swava. I don't know what's in this tea. Oh yeah, I know what's in this tea. You want to know what's in this tea? Love. This is love tea. All right. I'm sorry. It was good. I love getting into this stuff, you guys. I love getting into this. This is like, we can change it. And it's with our emotion that we change it. It's not a thinking thing. It's a feeling thing. Yes, have a beautiful weekend, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Please give me a thumbs up here on YouTube if this was helpful to you. It helps me to get my videos out to more people. And thank you as always for being here and so graciously and generously supporting each other. I couldn't do this without you. All right, sweet friends, do something that sparked joy and please post your art if you go painting. All right, friends, I'll see you next week. Take good care. Stay safe.